Today you were gonna kill it. Or at least maim it. You're gonna make it cry.
Yahoo!
It's Friday night. I'm putting on my highest heels, my shortest skirt, my best device for concealing my penis, and I got everything I need. I got my body, got my lips, got a pocket full of hawthorns. Pocket full of hawthorns. I got my body, got my lips, got a pocket full of hawthorns. Pocket full of hawthorns. Hawthorns, baby.
Oh, I feel bad having doing this episode without Jace, being that one of the episodes is going to be one of the ones we talk about the most, being Advanced K.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of important topics to broach here, and I am sorry that Jace is going to be missing, because this does feel like right up their alley.
100%.
The conglomeration of spooky and what I'm sure will be a very nuanced discussion about this episode's handling of gay culture.
Sure.
And I will not play any cards in that direction yet. Listeners,
and as somebody,
wait for the good bits.
And as somebody, because I'm gonna stutter through it. As somebody decidedly straight AF.
Moving on. I will say that most opinions are valid. Some opinions are more valid than others, and that is simply the way. I feel like there's this mistake we made by telling kids that everyone's input is valuable. That is not true.
There's no such thing as a dumb question.
That is not true. We told kids, and I'm not one of those guys that's like, we give out too many trophies. I feel like we maybe gave them too much stock into, we give out too many trophies. Who's doing that? It's not the kids getting the trophies. You're the one giving out all the trophies. Whatever. Blame the victim.
Blame us for getting,
for receiving trophies. Oh, no.
What have we done?
Yes, what did I do, me personally, by accepting those participation awards for attendance? We unfortunately told a lot of kids everyone's opinion is valid. You know, everyone's input is equal, and that's just not true.
No, if it was even slightly true, the world would be a much, much worse place.
And there is the yield to authority fallacy, where anyone in authority, you just take them like immediately at your word. Like, obviously you don't do that. However, let's say, for the sake of a hypothetical situation, let's say there's a deadly virus that is spreading across the world, right? Okay, far-flung hypothetical situation.
Yeah, I have a really hard time imagining this. Go on, though.
Pulling this one out of my ass. I've been playing the board game Pandemic. So let's say there's a virus spreading across the world, and there's all these different opinions being thrown around about what we should do. Dr. Fauci is weighing in. Various immune and epidemiologists are weighing in and giving their expert view. And there's some nuance there. We're learning new facts all the time. And what the truth is, science can never really know. What we can do is adapt when we learn new truth.
What is this science? I heard it was mostly witch hunts and poppycock.
Yeah, and you could choose to listen to the scientists, or you could choose to listen to...
I love the, emotive, or...
this is not a video podcast, but I am really doing... I'm doing some, elaborate hand gestures here. You could listen to the worldwide community of epidemiologists, or you could listen to, a health blog that tells you that actually we need sunshine and hugs, so do not listen to what I was... you could listen. You could be the people
I'll do you one better. You could listen to a pseudo-scientific blog that says we need to sun our taints.
Yes, you could listen to that. And I'm not saying that your taint doesn't.
But your taint ain't important.
I'm not saying that it is. Because the grundle, the gooch, it's a part of the anatomy like any other, and everyone's is different. And I'm not
the grundle, the gooch.
The grundle, the gooch.
Shit.
that is my porn parody of Beowulf. But you can listen to that. And I'm not saying that sun is harmful. I'm not saying that that's fully wrong. I am saying that, like, on Maslow's hierarchy of needs, if the taint really needed sunshine, it wouldn't be where it is. Do you know what I mean?
Like this is people. It's wild because the people sunning their taints are people that like would probably by and large deem themselves liberal, and like
yeah,
those two things combat themselves pretty harshly when you realize that like you can't espouse to believe in science and then believe some pseudoscience.
Yeah,
but then at the same time, it does a lot of work in like explaining to those of us on the outside how easy it is to convince somebody something that is not real is real.
Yes, and whether you
which should be far more terrifying to people than it is.
Indeed, and whether or not you believe in, say there's a Kinsey scale between creationism and evolution, right? And whether you believe in full creationism or full evolution or something along that spectrum, generally on Earth, things are where they are supposed to be. Sure. The fish at the bottom of the ocean don't need sunshine. They figured out a way to not need it, and so they're at the bottom of the ocean. So they don't need that. And in the same way, if your taint needed sunshine, it would be on your face. If your taint needed sunshine, it would be called an arm, and it would be right here on the body.
Fucking image.
I'm
I do know of some people with taints on their faces.
Like a surgery?
No, I just meant their ass hats.
Oh, okay. It's a medical condition called head-assery, actually, and they people prove that they are victims of it every single day.
They try to.
And this is, of course, Advanced Community Studies, a podcast where we watch the American television comedy Community, 1 or 2 episodes at a time. We are the premier, first and only podcast of the Yahoo Screen Podcasting Network. I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and look at me now, Dad.
I'm the daddy host, the hostess with the mostest kids. And
that's true fact.
It's true. And in the spirit of a conversation that may or may not make it into this podcast, but one that Kevin and I certainly had, dude just told his dead dad to suck it. It's one of my... So that line's good, like, period, but Donald Glover's delivery of that line is so good. That, like, stare into the distance, trying to fathom something while being, like, right next to somebody. It's very good. That's
exceptionally good. I'm not here to air out... I just sent the completely wrong emoji in a message to Jace. Jace is, of course, on assignment, and so it really conveyed the wrong message.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's very funny. And troublesome.
Yeah, so I just clarified. I don't talk about my own family life a lot on this show, not because I'm, like, embarrassed or I wouldn't share, but also, like, it's not only my story, it's like my siblings' stories, it's like my mom's story as well, and I will tell you any number of dumb, embarrassing, or sad things that I have done or are directly related to me, because that's fine, but it's not always my story to tell. That being said, my dad can suck it. He is still alive, but he can suck it.
Similarly, so can mine.
So can mine. All right. I have no orders of business, and our last episode was like 2.5 hours long. Dare we attempt to dive right into these 2 episodes of Community? First up, Season 3, Episode 5. Horror Fiction in 7 Spooky Steps. Directed by Tristram Shapiro. Written by Dan Harmon. The rare Dan Harmon writing credit on an episode. He almost never has them, even though we know he, like, does revisions of every script, but he's not an Aaron Sorkin or one of those guys that, like, gets the credit on most, or Noah Hawley, like any of those guys, who usually get the writing credit. So I don't know. I think that's interesting that he ended up being the voice on this one. In this episode, after receiving back some psych evaluations, Britta determines that one member of the study group has homicidal tendencies, is a psychopathic Dorito, a Cool Ranch lunatic, and
she says lunatic funny. She says like
Cool
lunatic.
Ranch lunatic.
Lunatic.
And so, in the most logical step for a Halloween episode, has the group tell scary stories to try and suss out who might be the murderer among them.
It's really a phenomenal setup. I'm really a fan of like this being a measuring stick type of episode. I love it.
I like the measuring stick. I like the view we get into how each of these characters would tell a story, and vis-a-vis kind of how they view each other. I think the Annie story is particularly interesting in that regard. But I find the premise that like one of the study group members might be a murderer, I find that a little too sweaty. I think that's... Sure. I don't need that, because I, the audience, know that none of them are. And that is definitely not going to be the resolution here. I don't need that extra bit of emphasis. That's just perhaps personal taste. Because like on a Simpsons Treehouse of Horror, which is also a Halloween anthology, they never have excuses like that. It's just like, I don't know, Bart and Lisa are telling some scary stories, and that's all we really need. But it seems as if you feel differently, and that's okay. It's not
that I'm in like a position where I'm like, this is one of my favorites, but I do like the conceit of like, because you would imagine writing a show that's now in its third season and in the surplus of 50 episodes is 40. We're at 50. Close to 50 episodes. You maybe don't run out of ideas, but like having something fresh and unique every episode sometimes is a challenge, and we've seen that before in episodes that are kind of duds with a capital in all caps, honestly. But like this episode being like, we've done Halloween before, and we've had the zombie thing, and we've had the weird student-led Halloween mixer thing. So where do we go from here? And then like supplanting any of the normal run-of-the-mill ideas you would have with like, what if we had several Halloween episodes bundled into one and have them in the voices of our characters? It's cool. I'm a fan of it. That's all I'm saying.
I get it. I like the exploration. I'm not even against like, okay, we are using this as a psychological test. I think the murderer bit is perhaps just one scotch too far for me.
Sure.
And I just don't think we need it. It doesn't really add stakes to the episode for me, because again, like my outside brain knows that no, of course, like Shirley is not an axe murderer or something like that.
Sure.
But that's just my
Surely she isn't.
Oh. I'll say it again. Are you sure I can't bring anything? To Britta's spread of empty taco shells, Fruit Loops. there's like one other thing on the table.
It's not a bowl of olives, because that's
because that's the
obviously the last one. Yeah, but yeah, it's sad. It's real sad.
It's a bummer.
She doesn't. Are you sure?
I can't bring anything. You NPR podcast playlists. Errol Morris interviewing Michelle Norris. Don't worry, they address
it.
I don't know why that joke kills me.
It's her excitement over something that the rest of the group was like, yo, this is fucking stupid.
Don't worry. they address it. That is how I feel a lot of the time, though. Not specifically about, like, NPR, but about any number of the dumb things I like or podcasts that I listen to. I'm like, okay, but they're doing this. And an outside person is like, okay. I don't...
Cool.
I don't care about the intricacies of the Doughboys podcast. Like, woo! Oh, they're finally doing McDonald's. Okay, great. So I definitely, this is one of those moments where my soul imprints on Britta Perry, and I understand her, in a way that I don't always understand people.
Sure.
But let's, and of course, we can't skim by it. This is the incredible Beetlejuice payoff. Caleb, I'm sure you're familiar.
I am only familiar because of the good works that y'all have done. I was not aware of this. Much like I wasn't aware of the Abed delivering a baby, much like
the monkey stealing the pen.
Right. Oh my god, that blew my fucking mind. I was like, what? It shit broke me. I had no idea.
Yeah,
but that's the benefit of like having things that you do pay an extreme amount of attention to, and then being a part of a podcast full of people that also pay a lot more attention than they should to things. Because normally I'm the only person that's like, "Did you notice that?" And it's much to the chagrin and like boredom and like constantly tired face of my wife, who's just like, "Are you fucking like again?" I'm like, hey, that glass was more full last scene. This is it's a good time to be in good company. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. I think a lot of, I will say people, and I even mean more specifically men, have podcasts to save their partners from the stresses of being with someone that would do a podcast. Does that make sense? Like my
homie, I do like 4 a week. Yeah. I have to put on such, not blinders, but like just like I have to put I want to talk about this spam filter on several times when I'm watching a thing, so my wife's not like, why did I do this?
Why did I do
this?
And two kids with, and this?
With this? Exactly.
This? So that's, I think, as much as people make fun of podcasts, and for the record, they should, it is, I think, in the same way that as much as we make fun of man caves, I do think man caves save marriages. I do think, having a space for your husband to be annoying only to themselves is essential. You need some buffer or some space. It's just, it comes with being around a person too much. That having a place where they can disappear and just do the things that are interesting to them, or sub out man cave for woodworking in the garage or fucking any X number quantity. But I do think these things help relationships in a certain sense.
Yes.
But community,
but the show is.
I am such a sucker for these episodes where we get to see how each character tells a story, the way that they view other people. I also laugh at any joke where someone with an official radio voice or newscaster voice says things in the colloquial way that, like, dumb people say them. He has a thingy on his hand, a hook thing where his hand should be.
It's so good. It's so good.
Any of those jokes are good. Or, like, in the story that Abed tells, where it's him and Britta, and Abed behaves in, like, the most rational way possible. And, like, watching Gillian and Britta deliver, like, Abed's impression of, like, a rational woman. I hope you're as fertile as I am tonight. I'm turned on by your shiny hair and facial symmetry. Just, like, all of that shit compounds. It's love so the Shirley story. The Shirley story.
Gay marriage.
The Dean-vil is an iconic. I will props to this right now. Very attracted to the Dean-vil. Very just like into that whole scene. cannot explain it.
Oh, yes.
Just like, yeah, okay, the
I hope
the
this doesn't
glam.
awaken something in me.
I hope this doesn't awaken the glam and the bald and Jim Rand. So fits into that costume and the leggings and it's a look. It's a whole thing.
It's so good. It's so good. And then after that, Pilates. That doesn't sound bad. It's a demon that eats your genitals.
It's a demon that eats your genitals. Yeah.
I feel like the Dean-vil needed, and I'm editorializing because that's what we do when we go on tangents. I feel like the Dean-vil deserved an appearance in the Bad Place during the show The Good Place, because it would have been incredible
to show up in the Bad Place where like everyone. Sorry to talk about The Good Place 2 weeks in a row, but that show's conception of the Bad Place, that it is just douchebags and the most annoying like office drones is so funny.
And their reliance on penis flattening as being one of the things that they talk about a ton.
Oh
no
my
more,
god!
No more penis flattening.
No more penis flattening. I am the arbiter of all things good and evil from now until the end of time. My name is Sean.
That's very good. It's very good.
Very good. Good place. Good show. Check it out.
Anyway, Dean-vil would have fit in well.
Yeah, the Dean-vil is important, and this straight rip of after-school specials or like the videos they would play in church youth group.
Oh God, Shirley coming down and being. I'm on my way to Abraham's bosom.
And like it seems ridiculous, and then you watch straight up Christian with a capital C media.
Yeah, any Sunday school media.
And that is exactly what it is.
You're like, oh fuck.
This is
referential, not parodical. Like,
right,
it is like, a parody still, but like it's so referential that like
barely parodical. Like, like you think it's like 9 degrees, but it's actually like 1 degree parody.
Yeah, even like Jeff dumping weed dust all over his body.
No, it's Britta. Oh, that is my kind of pot ball.
It's so hilariously misinformed because
it's so good.
It's so great.
I'm not afraid of locusts. I've lived in New York.
Yeah, it's like New York out there.
I love that practical shit. Anytime someone like walks out, walks back in, and delivers a line. Oh, that's classic like vaudeville comedy shit. I'm sure there's like a split down the camera that they didn't just like push Gilead out the door, dump blood on her head, and push her back in. But it's not much different than that. It's still like a good in-camera like special effect.
It was very good. There's the line after this specific scenario as well, where Pierce is like, "Where was Jeff, and why was my name?" Why was my name
Django?
Django.
Django. When did this episode come out in relation to Django?
October 27th.
Almost a full year before. Full year before. So this is not a Django Unchained reference. Because Django Unchained was barely a twinkle in our eye. It was just.
Well, Django was a movie in the 60s first.
Yeah, Django was like a long stand, at least like a character. There's like 50 Django movies. It's like this weird thing that Tarantino decided to continue. That he would like grab the ends of this like series of barely connected movies about this one character and just do another one. Which I respect. That kind of nerd bullshit.
Yeah, and the homie that played Django was in the Tarantino Django.
I was about to say, you're not talking about Jamie Foxx, right?
No. I always forget this person's name. I'm gonna see if I can look it up real quick. But he's like a well-known Italian, Franco Nero. Well-known Italian actor who's been around for fucking ages.
Sure, dog. If he's in the original Django's.
Yeah. He was in Django in 66, and then he was in Django Unchained, which is amazing.
That's wild. What a trajectory. What a career.
What a trajectory.
That movie dusts off a lot of people. That's how we get the Don Johnson revival. It comes from, we don't
Is
get
Don Johnson in that movie?
Yeah, he's like his name is like Pappy or something. Like he's one of the there are two big like what is the fucking where did Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds get married? Plantation. There's a big plantation. There are two big plantation owners, and one of them is obviously Leonardo DiCaprio as Calvin J. Gandy, and the other is Don Johnson. That's where
he's the one that rides up on the horse, or on the no, maybe not.
He's the one when they find those brothers in the scene where Django like whips the shit out of that dude. He is the guy that owns that plantation.
Yes. Okay. Yes.
Tarantino just went like, all right, I like Miami Vice. Who's? let me polish off a little Don Johnson.
Yeah. Hey, Don Johnson and I share a birthday. Isn't that interesting?
That's nice.
I'm happy for Don Johnson's resurgence because his role in Watchmen and in Knives Out was quite very good.
I forgot he's in Watchmen because he's in like a couple episodes. Like
he's ostensibly alive for one episode.
Yeah. Spoilers for the television show Watchmen. Things do not go well for Don Johnson's character. And I don't know. I think you can spoil a pilot. Like, I think you could spoil the first episode of something.
It seems to be the least offensive way to
pretty
talk
severely.
Yeah.
I won't. And we already did like a big like spoiler talk about the Watchmen TV show on this pod. What the fuck were we talking about? Speaking of ancient TV shows that we're all too young to have heard of, the Pierce fantasy sequence in this episode.
Oh my god.
Which, if you do a Google image search by this episode's title, the first like 8 results are that one shot of the 3 ladies in their in their teddies.
Yeah, sure. In their teddies.
Listen, I know people are horny. I get it. But I was looking for like a picture of the Dean-vil or Troy carrying Abed. I was looking for something along those lines. And I just got like pages. You have to go to page 2 to find something that's not our 3 lovely ladies of Community pretending like they want to have sex with Chevy Chase.
Troy says, "Oh my cock," right? Because the subtitles say God, but it's absolutely not a D at the end of that sentence.
I have always heard "oh my god," and I've never until this moment thought that he said cock, but now that you have put that cock in my head, I am afraid that now I will never be able to unhear it.
You will not, because it's all I can hear. He says, "Oh my gock." It's impossible to unhear. It's a sneak. It's a sneak.
He's trying to sneak the cock in. Yeah, I understand. Sorry, you keep setting him up. I don't know. Like, you're mad that you put the ball on the tee, and I keep hitting it off the tee ball. Why would you keep putting it there if you didn't want me to hit it?
Yeah.
That's all I have to say in defense of myself.
That's fine. Okay. That's fine.
This is a very funny episode. Not one of my all-time faves, but I can also watch this episode pretty much any time and make it through. If you will, I would like to sit here for a moment and really psychoanalyze Annie Edison, specifically through the lens of the story she tells in this episode. Because if we accept each story as, they all take place in this one cabin, the cabin of the collective unconscious, that all the characters share, and we accept. Can we establish? This is some nerd shit. Can we establish the rules that like each vision that we see is specifically like exactly what the character telling the story is seeing in their head?
Sure.
Okay. Just for the sake of truly.
Do they have the ability to then transfer that image in their minds directly and efficiently to the people listening, or are they all seeing the same thing? Is what I'm asking. Well, we're definitely seeing the imagination of the speaker, but are the listeners in the show also seeing the imagination of the speaker?
I would say no. They are not seeing exactly the same thing.
Obviously, because Pierce didn't recognize himself as not being Django.
Precisely. That obviously, like, Pierce made it way, way, way too obvious in his telling of the story, which is how everyone saw through it.
Sure.
And Troy did as well. That, like, no, I said he was a crazy old racist doctor.
And I'm your crazy old racist friend.
Yeah, or at least I
Right.
was. Yeah. Another episode in the beginning of season 3 that is like, is the study group gonna fall apart? They repeat this beat a few too many times, like right in a row for my personal taste. But anyway, so
What does Abed say when he walks into that room, by the way?
into
Your hubcaps and what?
expensive alcohol and hubcaps,
Yeah.
expensive brandy and hubcaps, something like that.
Some sort of
Yeah, what it is, you jive, mother. Looking exactly like the last movies Troy or Pierce would have seen about like black culture, like Boys in the Hood, like looking exactly like Pierce was watching Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood, like the Wayans brothers comedy.
Man.
And that is sorry if that's too deep a cut.
No, it's good. It's good. I didn't realize also how there's a lot of referential material in Community that like draws from things. Obviously, saying that is quite obvious. In most
Community
cases.
101, yeah.
Yeah, but not realizing until maybe just now, but having glimpses before of like how stereotypical Pierce imagines Troy and Abed. And like having, like you just said, seen them in places and not realize. I didn't realize it until you said it. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you were to Google image search the poster for "Don't Be a Menace to South Central," etc., 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 they have exactly the same hairstyle.
Nice.
Yeah,
There's things that I missed, for sure. I couldn't play Pokemon because of evolution, so you can imagine.
Yeah, there's some pop culture you missed over.
There's some stuff that
again, gonna cut this out. That does explain what you told me before we started.
Yeah,
Actually,
yes.
Suddenly now your whole evil plan is clear as day.
But if you need to repeat it for your men,
I understand. Okay, so the Annie Edison psychoanalyzation. Shall
yes,
we?
Please,
We'll play
dive in.
Therapist here. Pretend I'm
I've got
TV's
my
Britta
slippers on.
Perry.
I've got my flippers and scuba gear on. Let's dive in.
So in this story, we see, Jeff is the strong, handsome, dapper romance novel man, and he carries in the plucky, virtuous school marm with, I think, specifically like ample cleavage. Like, I'm not just saying that as like a pervert. We all know I am, but that feels like a pointed aspect of this memory. Am I wrong?
No, it's just that you said pointed when talking about boobs.
Okay. So,
Hey, get the fuck out of my business while you had to tee off on some of my jokes. I had to tee off on some of yours.
And
all right?
and if we can reasonably interpret this story as an analog for Annie's feelings about Jeff and Britta, this is pretty damning. Like this is not a good look.
No.
So we find out quickly that Jeff is a vampire, that he is
feeds on the blood of young women.
he feeds on the blood of young women. To paraphrase Jeff Winger, in case you haven't graced the central metaphor of those Twilight books you devour, men are monsters who crave young flesh.
Which is often unable to defend itself. The young flesh,
indeed.
that is.
And Jeff is the vampire is of course sustaining himself on Britta, who is at this point a real like used up goods. To paraphrase Shirley,
what does he say to her when she speaks? Silence, you drain and tainted.
Stifle
What?
your slack and maw, you drained and tainted bitch dog. And to which she, of course, says, I'm fine with this.
I'm fine with this.
So, like, okay, to stop for a second and analyze what has just transpired, that, like, she views Britta, who is basically her best friend, if we
Yeah.
as close as, like, any of them are, like, not Troy and Abed best friends, but one could assume they're pretty close to best friends at this point. They don't bring up other friends. That she views her own best friend as a used-up, spent woman who is happy to be railroaded. I meant that just as, like, run over. Happy to be doormatted by men who will use her up.
Definitely wasn't laughing at what it could have meant, but now...
That was...
I'm silently laughing at it.
I'm not being gross. It's... I know what I said sounded bad, but... And then I leave. I walk out of the podcast studio.
Yeah. It's just fucking bolt.
Yeah, I'm out of here. So that she views her own best friend that way, and that the season 3 hits really hard from the beginning. This Jeff and Annie thing. Jeff is daydreaming about it in the musical sequence. Of course, we have the Model UN episode. You were not here for the recording of that, but Jason and I certainly had thoughts about this whole Jeff and Annie nonsense.
Oh, I do hope that you eviscerated.
Yeah,
Jeff
I was like,
outlandish and an out of character fucking.
That conversation on the couch where he keeps calling her kiddo, it makes me want to catapult myself into the sun. It makes me want to
yeet me into Seoul, please.
Yeet me into space, like Brad Pitt onto his Tommy Lee Jones dad. Please just push me into the vacuum of space.
Oh fuck.
That's how I want to go out when I watch that scene. I remember freshman year of college, when this season was first airing, having a conversation with my friend about, like, a conversation men would have about, like, well, Britta or Annie? And I was always like, Britta. And my friend argues, like, no, Annie, Britta would try to change you. And I'm like, my man. When she has a chance to fantasize about her relationship with Jeff Winger, her only goal is to change him. Is to change him. That, like, she has the fantasy. And I'm not even, like... That, intentional or no, is a fairly common dynamic. It's like, I can fix them, I can change them. Folks, let me just tell you, no, you can't. And that's advice. I'm not even trying to be like mean.
You're just dealing in free therapy right now.
Yeah, you just can't.
I want you to be sure to get paid for it.
The therapist is in. I think, like Lucy from fucking Peanuts, I'm just gonna shack up at a little roadside lemonade stand with like 5 cents for the therapist is in. Then that her whole fantasy is about changing the man that she wants to be with. And then, obviously, she ultimately destroys him as a werewolf, which is another step of fucking.
When you were done, I was going to say, like, specifically that. Like, if her fantasy had been to try to change him and then realize, like, oh, I could not change him. Maybe I shouldn't have tried.
Now that's a good
lesson to teach. But instead, it was, I can't change you, then I'm going to fucking destroy you. And I've seen that shit happen in real life. That's toxic as fuck. Our little FBI agent is growing up.
Yeah, no wonder she becomes a fucking cop. And I'm sorry, Annie. I like Annie as a character. I just think we simply must stop and unpack what is happening here.
Yeah.
Because as funny as this story is, it has always sat very strangely with me. Like, truly, I'm like, someone needs to write a paper about this scene. these 2 minutes of Community. I'm not here to condemn Annie Edison or Annie Edison fans or people that identify with her. I just find this story very fucked up.
It's troublesome.
It's troublesome.
That might be putting it too delicately. It's problematic. It's definitely warning flags all over the place. And like, I know that you've mentioned before that you're not as disappointed that this show didn't saddle its characters with relationships at some point. Not saddle all of its characters with relationships at some point. Like Friends, aged as poorly as it has, like. Everybody goes through several relationships. Same with
the ending
How I Met Your Mother.
Friends. Yeah, everyone is partnered up. How I Met Your Mother. Everyone is either partnered up or specifically not partnered up. Scrubs. I mean, most shows decide.
Most shows
to end.
will go do that because they want to, and I think that's a testament to some of Community's creativity, and I think that's a not. And I don't mean to say that that is a lack of creativity in any of these other shows. I do think when you run 10 seasons, 8 seasons, 15 seasons, whatever, you start to wring the rag dry and go, okay, what's a quick way we can inject different situations, relationships, and like that's fine. That's a device. I don't dislike any of the shows that we've listed. Well, okay, I do dislike Friends, and How I Met Your Mother is problematic, but that's beyond the point.
It was very important to me for a while, and there's still parts of it I'm like, that's really impressive. Like, okay, you're doing an episode of How I Met Your Mother that like takes place in 3 different periods of time simultaneously. Like, yeah, that's impressive. I don't care who.
Watching Jason Segal's character deal with his father's death, like that shit was real. Like I remember when that happened, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, this show's taking that very seriously, and I thought it would be kind of one of those brushovers. But back to what I was saying, I'm a little bit sad that Community doesn't do the relationship thing, not with everybody, but specifically with Annie more, because this is really the only time we get to glimpse into her motivations as a partner. Like when she's with Rich, it's like a weird fun fling that's absolutely never going to work because he's older than Jeff, most likely, probably, but definitely more wholesome. So it can't work.
He's also a murderer. It would never work out between the two of them.
No, she would have to lock him up. That would be a good thriller, though. But still, like, I wish we got more of, because like I don't want to say Annie's character's one-dimensional, because she's certainly not. I don't want to say that she's fully three-dimensional, because I think there's certain cases where she's certainly not. But I think that, like, of the characters, giving Annie a foil for the group to grade her on works, which is why I think her and Vaughn worked really well, because it was like this. It was different too, right? In the first season, Annie's like, I'm going to be what he wants me to be, and 2 seasons removed, having been denied by Jeff on multiple occasions, she is now moved into the I am the conqueror. I am going to change whatever I want to be what I need. Yeah. And I just wish I'm belaboring my point now, but I wish we'd seen more of that, because I do really like it. It's troubling in this episode, but I do really like seeing that side of that character specifically.
Yeah, it's this show is much more about a fraternal love and agape love rather than romance and relationships. Especially after season 1, we essentially never touched that again. Jeff and Annie flirt. Troy and Britta briefly date, if everyone remembers that. We have Jeff and Britta having secret sex, which I think is a very interesting relationship dynamic. And, on the one hand, I really appreciate that this show didn't force relationship stuff that it wasn't interested in doing anymore. Vaughn was cool, Slater was cool, and I think the show lost interest in doing that. And I would rather them just not do it than them force relationships.
Them try and convince you that they're not tired of it.
Yeah, force relationships that the show is not interested in exploring, right? And none of Dan Harmon's other television projects are interested in that either. Rick and Morty does not have the one romantic element in the first 3 seasons is a failing marriage. Like that is the only romance story that we get, besides like 1 or 2 episodes where it's like Rick runs into an old fling, but you know what I mean. I don't think Harmon is interested in that as a storyteller, and I appreciate them not trying to force it, but at the same point, it feels very pointed that at the end of this show, literally none of the characters are in a relationship, like are in a committed, interested romantic relationship that we know of. I guess we'd never dive into it with Frankie, but it doesn't seem like she is.
No. Is there a campaign for Frankie and Jeff?
I think it's interesting that the show decides to never fully pin down Frankie's sexuality. I think that's an interesting choice. And that the episode where the Dean, quote unquote, comes out as gay dives into that dynamic, I think, really interestingly. But I have seen Frankie Jeff, and I support it. Like, those two characters as they exist in season 6, I'm like, I get it. Like, they're very different, but they are, 1, age appropriate, and 2, I think they, both having an Olympic gold medal in Jibber Jabber, work really well as a sort of back and forth repartee, a sort of second Slater, if you will.
Yeah, sure. They're a wine and nice dinner couple.
Yeah.
Not a Netflix and chill couple, which, like, I think Jeff's at the period, we're severely jumping the shark, but they're a, what was I about to say? They're a dinner and they're a fancy wine and fancy restaurant couple. And what Jeff has matured to, yeah.
You would always be intimidated to ask them to, like, a double date or to, like, hang out. But if they ever invited you to the party, you're like, oh, yes, this is going to be, like,
this is going to be good.
This is going to be a good dinner. Whereas, like, I mean, Jeff and Annie, it's just, like, truly not for me. I just, like, really don't. I get it for people that really identify with Jeff, that are very attracted to Allison Brie, and people that really identify with Annie, that are very attracted to Joel McHale. I get it for those people. I also kind of get it for Jeff and Britta. I'm not, like, a huge shipper in that regard, but I also, like, I like their dynamic. I also think they work as, like, best friends. You know, when she goes to also meet Jeff's dad at Thanksgiving, that episode could either, it could be implied that they drive home and they hug, or they drive home and they fuck hard, and it truly could go either way.
Literally, either. Yeah.
But Jeff and Britta would be the couple you least want to hang out with. They would be insufferable.
No,
as a
I have had friends as couples who, like, drink and you're like, oh god,
stop fighting.
Let's go somewhere else. Why don't you talk to your friends and you talk to your friends, and, like, let that be. Let's have 2 parties, actually. One in the living room, one in the kitchen. Yeah, I think I've always been a Annie and Troy shipper, because it's presented to you and then never pursued. But also because I identify with Troy, and I identify with Troy being the athlete and going after the bookish white girl, because that's what I did. That's literally what I did. My wife played softball, so she is and was a tremendous athlete, but she was also higher on the class rank than I was. So
the academic scale, and that checks out. And there's different. You know, I'm not married.
I'm a fucking dork, y'all.
Right, exactly. You're doing this show. They know.
I'm doing this fucking show. Yeah.
You've recorded over 30 episodes of this show. They know. And I also get the, like, Abed and Annie people. I had never really thought about that, but I get it. You know, I see the rapport, I see the repartee between the two of them. I don't know. We just got on this long thing about, like, character relationships.
Just diving into love interests.
Yeah, I like Jeff and Shirley. I've seen a few people pitch Jeff and Shirley, and I think that's interesting.
Huh.
I think that's interesting. I don't think it would work.
I think that's interesting.
But I think it's interesting. It would have been something that would be interesting to explore.
Yeah. I don't know if it's because you think you're too old for me, or because I intimidate you sexually.
Oh, she does. 100%.
100%.
100%. Yeah, I mean, she's had Chang. she's had Chang and Malcolm Jamal Warner.
She survived Chang. That's sexual intimidation enough.
In a bathroom.
In costumes, during a zombie apocalypse.
Where neither of them, I think, got infected. That's just, like, the end of them in that episode is fucking in a bathroom. And then Troy has to save everybody.
That's wildly... Oh, no, they do get infected, because at the end of the voicemail, the door gets knocked in. But you don't see it.
Yeah, you're right.
You hear them like, oh, God! And then that's it.
Yeah, it's like the...
And then Troy punches her in the face, doesn't he?
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Shirley, I still don't know what you are, but in your face. You're right. Yeah, it's like the special features on the Shaun of the Dead DVD where they, like, fill in some missing pieces, and they're like, no, this person got infected. Here's a little comic strip about it.
Anyway,
exactly. We segue on. Are we done with this one? It feels like
we can be done with this one. Yes, we've made the point I wanted to make, which is Annie is perhaps perhaps very toxic in relationships.
There's a lot to discuss there. And now, Season 3, Episode 6, Advanced Gay. The halfway point of Community. Once we are done with this episode, we will be halfway through the show. Oh,
damn. Really?
Isn't that something?
That's wild. I did not realize that.
Directed by Joe Russo. Written by Matt Murray. When Hawthorne wipes become a staple of gay culture, Pierce has an internal war between himself and the whims of his father as to whether or not they should pursue that. At the same time, Vice Dean Laybourne of the Air Conditioner Repair School returns to tempt Troy into joining their elite order of guys that fix air conditioners.
Yes. Is this the room temperature room?
This is the room temperature room.
That's one of my fucking favorite bits, dude.
I am lukewarm but positive on this episode as a whole, but the section where John Goodman leads Troy down the hallway explaining the evolution of palm fronds to air conditioner repair school and taking him into, have you ever heard of room temperature? This is the room. It's the room.
I can't tell where my skin stops and the air starts. It's so good.
Top 10 Community joke. That
it's so
there
good.
is a room that is the litmus test for room temperature.
So good.
It's so good. So there's several elements of this episode that simply must be addressed. Pierce's dead. And the
racism.
The op-ed of racism. Pierce's dad is one of those characters that they make so racist that it's like, okay, but who do you believe the pure race to be? Kentucky Fried Colonel, because he
calls him Colonel Crypt Keeper.
Colonel Crypt Keeper. Who wears like an elephant to flinch every time you see an elephant.
Oh my god, that just his entire introduction is so rough. It's so rough, and I don't mean like in terms of writing or performance. It's just
very funny, but it is also.
But it's also like, he's like, no, because what does he say? Because wigs are made with the hair from the godless Orientals.
The godless Oriental. You're basically Laplanders.
He spits.
Yeah, I mean, holy shit.
Molecular purity.
Yeah, Cornelius Hawthorne is, of course, played by Larry Cedar, one of the great actors of TV's Deadwood. It's a wonderful performance. I think this actor is younger than Chevy Chase. I think it's one
incredible.
of those.
That's very...
Let me look up the life and times of Larry Cedar, shall I?
The solid ivory is the only way to be assured of true follicular purity while still identifying myself as a man of means. And then Britta says, I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at animal cruelty. And Shirley goes, you can excuse racism.
This is the moment. This is where it comes. One of the immortal Community memes.
Of Britta doing the arms crossed shake. No.
I can excuse racism. No, that whole meme format of I can excuse racism, but I draw the line at blank. And Shirley saying you can excuse racism. It's a classic bit, and again, as I wrote 6,400 words about, for better or worse, Britta Perry is the character of our times. So all the people that is it gets thrown at, I think, Trump supporters a lot. It's like, I could excuse racism, but I draw the line at being mean to women. It's like, what? You can excuse racism?
Wait, what?
Larry Cedar was born March 6th, 1955. And I haven't pulled up Chevy Chase's autobiography, but I have to imagine he was born before that. Born 1943. Cornelius Hawthorne is 12 years younger than Chevy Chase.
That's very good.
I'd always assumed your dad was dead, just, mathematically.
Oh, man. There's so many, mathematically. There's so many moments in this episode that are just, like you said, the episode itself is pretty meh. It's all right. But, when Laybourne and Troy are talking, and he's like, I'm going to do my own thing, and he's like, that's a mistake. And he's like, at least it's my mistake. And he goes, that's still a mistake. Or it doesn't change the fact that it's a mistake. And Troy goes, doesn't it? And he goes, no, it doesn't.
No, it does.
It's very good.
You know,
Pierce's whole stumbling through accidentally saying things that tee the group up for laughing at him accidentally saying gay things is really funny. It's really funny. Stop putting gay things in my mouth. It's
why'd you want to take his pants off?
I'm gonna eat his ass in court. Oh, it's so good.
You mean those guys were? He's just like,
what does he say? I just thought they were.
Oh, I can't remember. Fancy or something like that. They were rich or something
like that. Yeah.
It's a good. I really like this as a Pierce episode. I think this is one of the stronger episodes that focuses on Pierce, especially in past season 1, as like a focal character that we are supposed to like and sympathize with. I appreciate that this, Pierce meeting the bare minimum for inclusivity and open-mindedness is quite good. I like it.
Yeah. I love when Abed or Troy shows up from air conditioning repair school, and Abed's like, "Where have you been?" And Troy's like, "I'm not allowed to say." He's like, "Are you Superman?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Would you tell me if you were?" He's like, "Yes, I never understood why he cared who knew."
I tell everyone.
I tell everyone.
Which is very good. This is one of my favorite Troy and Abed conversations of the entire show. This is I could tell myself, can you pretend to be me? I like football, but also
I don't? With a question mark?
I'm Abed, but maybe Han Solo would know. Don't get cocky. Okay.
The number of characters he tries to go into. This isn't working. Oh, it's good. It's so good.
Is very, very good. I like this evolution of the Britta is a therapist plot as well. Again, sorry to be a parody of myself and just talk about Britta all the time. But it's this, like, her early adaptation to, like, the edible complex, quote unquote, they have to kill their fathers and do something with their mothers. I don't understand.
The guy giving you're the worst. Even the guy, the
fucking,
you
even that guy has to throw it at her, and like Jeff is very mean to Britta throughout this episode, but I like that the resolution is he's like, I was being a jerk. You were right. Like you were correct. Is I think a really good, like, meaningful relationship, because Jeff is mean to Britta a lot. He really is like the spearheader of people picking on her, but he will also defend her, or when the two of them are alone, like, they really have these nice, sweet moments together that you're like, right, this is like his best friend in the entire world.
I was gonna make a joke a second ago, and then I went to look up the specific line, and then realized I've been mishearing that line until today.
Oh,
in the first season in Contemporary American Poultry, when Abed's talking to Britta, and he says the idea that you compulsively filter yourself
makes you like a flavor, kind of a flavor.
It's not like a flavor, kind of a flavor. That's not what he says. Not. It says the idea that you compulsively filter yourself makes your lack of flavor kind of a flavor. Yeah. We both had this moment. I'm so glad. I thought for sure I was the only one that. This person on Reddit's like, I thought he said makes you like a flavor, kind of a flavor, but it makes your lack of flavor kind of a flavor.
Fucking almost 11 years.
Yeah,
I have watched this Chicken Fingers episode more times than I could possibly try and recall, and now that line finally makes sense.
Dude. Yes, exactly.
Oh my god. Matt at Communities is going to be so disappointed in me. I'm going to get so many tweets that is like, I can't believe you didn't know. Oh, my career is ruined.
It's all right. We have to share this burden on all four of our shoulders.
No, normally it's due back to me, because I've done it to you and Jay so many times that, like, my reckoning was coming. And you were fucking Bane in the football stadium, and you just like knocks out the floor. And I'm the one guy who's like, I didn't notice. I'm gonna keep running.
Turn around and go, oh, my fans!
That's my favorite character in the whole movie, is the football player who's so into football he doesn't notice that, like, a terrorist is destroyed. The football field. That is the dumbest movie that I will watch literally at any time. That movie is so fucking stupid, and I love it. It's so dumb.
It's the dumbest movie I can't and won't ever turn off.
That is the dumbest book I will ever read cover to cover.
So just because I'm here and because we're in the mood to blow minds with thoughts that they did.
I saw that movie 3 times in theaters.
So did I, dude. So did I, homie.
Dude. I love it.
There's so much of that movie that's awful, and so much of that movie that's okay, and then a few things in that movie that are great.
Great. That's a good average.
Yeah, it's okay. It works out.
Very watchable movie. It's not like boring. It just doesn't make any sense, and its politics are terrible. But I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I'm rooting for the cops against the poor citizens of Gotham that have felt disenfranchised. I'm rooting for the cops in this scenario. Okay.
Cool beans.
Interesting.
That's what you want me to do.
Interesting, Chris. Okay.
What are you saying, my bro? What are you saying right now?
I don't think he knows.
No, absolutely not. If Tenet's
there's this to paraphrase the great Matt Gorley, he was talking about Christopher Nolan, and that Christopher Nolan doesn't even realize he's putting these things in the movie, and then he's like, "Oh shit, is that what my movie is about? That's not good, but I gotta finish it. I'm committed."
Well, we're here, and I guess we gotta just kind of keep going. So since we're in the slightest tone of discovering things, do you know what basic lupine neurology is in reference to?
Dick Wolf.
Yeah, I just discovered that, so I'm not proud of how
Dick Wolf. That episode puts some fucking respect on Dick Wolf's name, and I do appreciate
that episode's great, and cannot wait to talk about it.
One of the top 5 geniuses in the history of television, Dick Wolf, and I cannot get onto it right now. I'm not even like.
We'll talk
Law &
about
Order's
it,
not like my favorite show or anything, but like it's undeniable. The worst part, the only bad thing about Law & Order is that it's called Law & Order after racist Reagan rhetoric. The 3 R's, if you will.
R3.
R cubed. Okay, back to Advanced Gay. There is one topic that I feel like we simply must breach regarding this episode, and unfortunately Jace is not here, who I think will have a more interesting opinion than the two of us, but I can't discuss this episode without broaching it. So, and I feel like it should be the last thing we talk about, so if you have anything to clear off the deck before that, go ahead.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really, really like when Pierce tries to embrace the fact that this party's happening finally, and they come and ask him what flavor or what kind of cupcakes or cookies he wants, and he goes, "Rainbow, bitches." And they're like,
"We have peanut butter or chocolate?"
We have peanut butter or chocolate chip.
That guy's really fun. I don't know, like they never bring him back. I don't know that guy's name. He's got good timing. He's very funny.
Very good.
So, but that is actually a good segue into the thing that I think simply must be broached, is that this episode, I think, came under a certain amount of derision for its portrayal of the gay community, and it's not offensive to me. I am cis and I am bi, so I am by no means an expert regarding this topic. And you are straight and cis as a...
I'm so straight I could hide in the shadow of an arrow.
Yeah, exactly. To, I think, quote Jace in our last episode, so straight you could cut yourself, which is...
That's funny.
That's a good line.
Funny. I mean, maybe I'm not so straight I could cut myself, but there's definitely a degree of straightness to me that's like noticeable and immutable.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, you were born how you were born.
Yeah. Would I allow Chris Evans to kiss me on the mouth? Yes. Would I return it? Yes.
You are gay for play. It's depends on who it is, which I think, in my opinion, others may disagree, that is a perfectly valid place to live. Is that it's like, okay, Chris Evans, Henry Cavill, Brad Pitt in the 90s, yes, and I think that's a perfectly fine, it's fine to be gay only for George Clooney. I think there's a slot for that on the Kinsey scale. Gay for Idris Elba only, I think is a valid...
I'm on that list.
I think is a valid place of existence. You know what I mean?
And like, I'm not saying that I would go out of my way to make that kind of contact, but I would be just as pleased hanging out and drinking and like talking music with Idris Elba as I would be cuddling Idris Elba. Is all I'm saying.
Exactly, and again, that's a perfectly valid way to live your life. And I appreciate anyone that's just like willing to talk about that kind of stuff. But I wouldn't call this episode like offensive or derisive to the gay community, quote unquote. It is just like, there is only one kind of gay person in this episode, and it's like
that's why I thought
very effeminate club gays, which are a lot of people. Like, do not get me wrong, that is a perfectly like healthy section of the gay community, but this episode is very monotheistic in that way. It's like we only portray one, and you could say like, there's not enough time. The episode isn't really about being gay, but rather like a bigot accepting gay people. Like, I hear you. I understand. I think if Community had more gay characters, that this would be less of an issue. My issue with bisexual representation in media is not that a lot of bisexuals portrayed in media are, I will use the word slut, like quote unquote sluts. It's my issue that there isn't a lot of other representation. Like, there's not a lot of, like, closed-in bisexual people. It's almost entirely, quote-unquote, sluts. And I don't throw that around derisively. People that sleep around, shall I say.
Yes. Sexually confident people. Yeah,
Sexually
no,
confident,
I did notice that.
Whatever.
Yeah, sure. I did notice that almost immediately the first time watching it. I was like, but, like, that's not gay. That's not all gay is what I mean by saying that's not gay. Like, that's not in bold typeface in the Webster Merriam dictionary gay. This is like
not like any group of
facet.
People. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think they picked that singular facet because it's the most immediate. It's stereotypical to some, because that's how I've heard many people who are less than culturally aware of themselves just do that, like, just play act that brand of, to, like, make a joke. But, like,
no, they picked, and a lot of that is media representation. A lot of that is there is usually one kind of gay person that is depicted, and even within this show, Chang doesn't count. Even if he comes out as legit gay in the series finale, that doesn't count because you didn't do anything with that aspect of that character. The Dean is something, but that's also usually like a joke. It's very rarely like treated as an aspect of the character. It's a joke. It's like, what is he?
Right.
And then Frankie, they never specifically pin down anything. So, and to my off-the-dome recollection, that's like pretty much all we get over the course of Community outside of this episode, or the episode where the Dean, quote-unquote, comes out as gay, which has a few more gay characters. But never, it's an aspect of the episode. A room full of gay men chanting, "Look at me now, Dad," is objectively funny. Objectively
Look at me now, Dad. It's great. It's great.
In an episode full of great jokes, that is a great joke. It simply must be discussed in relation to this episode.
Yeah.
An episode called Advanced
Gay.
Gay. Yeah, that's a fucking banger. I bet I put it in this episode. Kevin, in the future, remember to put that in this episode.
And that's Urbana-Champaign, right? So people that live in
Urbana-Champaign.
Any bit know that what that's a reference. What that stage name is a reference to.
The University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign.
There's Champaign-Urbana is just like a town. I guess it's two towns.
In rural Illinois.
Yeah, it looks like Sasha Velour of RuPaul's Drag Race calls Urbana-Champaign their home.
So maybe that's the whole thing?
So
maybe that's...
There you go. That's probably why. Anyway.
That's probably why. Hey, we figured some stuff out tonight. And
Cursory Google searches have revealed many things to us tonight.
Yeah, I've seen people ask, like, community writers and stuff, like, oh, did you ever want to have any other drag queens on? I that is just outside my world. Even though I hear RuPaul's Drag Race is a good show. Even though RuPaul is, like, owns fracking stock, So RuPaul is unfortunately a rich person, and rich people tend to have some loose scruples.
Yes.
We could argue whether or not the money causes that, or is a result of that, but
or both,
probably a combination of the two.
Tail, perhaps.
Indeed, the Ouroboros. But anyway, let's segue into rankings. Unless there's anything else you want to tag out here.
No, not at all. Let's do it.
Okay, so the first end tag, Troy and Abed sewn together. Feet, hands. And it's just like Troy and Abed communicating psychically. Which, my favorite joke of this end tag is Troy sipping a brandy and going, oh, terrible. Which is definitely how I feel. Troy, I know that feeling.
Yeah, I think Troy and Abed sewn together should go near Troy and Abed in the Morning 2.
Which is with Rich?
With Rich. Right?
Where?
Or is Troy and Abed in the Morning 2 with Starburns holding the turtle?
Yeah, the first one is Jeff. The second one is Starburns with a turtle. The third is with Rich. You are absolutely correct. So in the morning with Starburns is 2.
Where's the one with Rich? Oh, in the morning with Rich is 20. So it's right above.
Oh, like 2 above Starburns.
Yeah. Okay. It's not as funny as Britta's penis test. Oh my god, I missed that conversation, didn't I?
Wait. Oh, yeah, no, you did not get to rank Britta's penis test.
Was that the last one? Was that the...
That was in, like, episode 3, which you were the one episode of the show that you were not around for.
So this episode 5, is not this specific, but one of these episodes tonight, episode 5. Is that her finally, like, actually looking at
the results of that test?
Oh, fuck.
You could certainly interpret that if you wanted to.
Okay, yeah. I think I may have realized that before, but I thought they were right next to each other, not separated by
Remedial Chaos Theory. But
Theory.
They weren't supposed to be. Remedial Chaos Theory was supposed to be the third episode, but it just took that much longer to write and shoot. So they ended up bumping.
They were supposed to butt up next to each other.
So they were supposed to be right next to each other.
Okay.
It's funny. It's a little tidbit.
Works.
I don't like this as much.
Also,
as
you could infer that, like, taking those tests and then a house party and then being back at school would be separated.
Yeah.
So
and
anyway,
could even a couple of those could have happened on the same day or the next day or whatever.
Exactly.
Okay, so here's the question that we gotta ask: is this end tag funnier than Donald Glover screaming "slut"? I don't think it is.
Oh no, it's not. I did not realize "slut" was below the Troy and Abed in the Morning with Rich.
I like that end tag more overall, but that is a great litmus test. Is this above or below Donald Glover?
Yeah, no, it's a great litmus test. It's not above "slut."
But, once we're in, like, Bert and Ernie, we can have a
It's
conversation.
not funnier than Bert and Ernie, though, because
Okay.
his, like, I knew I couldn't do this today.
You like Vending Machine. I know this.
I do like Vending Machine, yeah.
But this is about on the same level with Vending Machine.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
I maybe like this one, just like,
I like it more. Yeah. It's not
Like
funnier than
voicemail.
Flagpole voicemail, for sure.
There you go. The new number 27, Troy and Abed sewn together.
Hey, Abed, it's Troy.
And now, I don't know how to describe this one. They're playing Inspector Spacetime, and then an attractive woman walks by. And this is an episode that sneakily has a bunch of how you living. I forgot that I stole that from Donald Glover in this episode. How you living is very funny as like a pickup line.
It's very good.
All right, let's use the slut barometer again. Better or worse than slut? I would put it just below. Simply, the Inspector Spacetime stuff is like aggressively medium for me. Yeah. I kind of like it.
The final line is very good. That's it.
Yeah. How you live.
and Abed's pew in the background while he says it.
Yeah, and then, throwing blowgun on scum and throwing stuff at Jeff. It's cute. It's very cute. But I don't laugh until, hey girl, how you living?
Would that be just above Troy and Abed's on Together, or above Flagpole for you?
I like Flagpole, so I'll put it right beneath Flagpole.
Sure.
So another new number 27.
Look at that! Yeah, look at that. Two end caps coming in together.
How you living? It hasn't happened since like the first episode.
Yes, the one time it had to happen. Yes.
Yes, indeed. Okay, now to the episode rankings. This is the sticky wicket.
This is the sticky. What's our litmus test here? What's our middle mark? What's our middle
It
mark?
used to be. We don't have one anymore. Romantic expressionism kind of works as one.
Well, how many do we have? How many do we have total? We're on what? 38?
God, I mean, like 53 episodes. Yeah,
so
exactly.
53. So we're 20. What? 6 is our middle point. The beginner Potter.
Yeah, I would. So on these, I'm like, okay. So let's go to the last Halloween episode. If we're ranking horror fiction in 7 Spooky Steps.
Sure.
Better or worse than Zombies? I don't like this one as much as Zombies. I like this episode. It's not as good as Zombies. So
is it better than Basic Rocket Science?
No.
Okay.
Basic Rocket Science. There's too many fucking good jokes.
You know what? My litmus test is going to be Football, Feminism, and You, because that's a real good one to...
Because that has Troy's 2 politically conservative high school fight raps, which
are... and that incredible exchange between him and
Jeff. And there's no moment in this episode I like more than either one of those two. There just simply isn't.
Might I add that I make the Bing Bong sing-along, Your Team's Al Gore, because your views are wrong. I make that joke once a week in my Xbox parties with my friends.
100%.
It does not fail.
And okay, so I was looking at this list before, just like while I was waiting for y'all. Asian population studies is kind of where I'm at. I think I like this one more than Asian population.
You like this one more than Shirley Giving... That's not Shirley Giving Birth. I'm sorry. That is that them voting?
Yeah, kettle corn.
Into the group? Yeah, it's a fun time snack. Okay.
But if I put it up against early 21st century romanticism, I don't know. I really like that episode.
So put it between them.
Yeah. Okay, great.
Yeah, that's
new number.
You just made that really easy.
I
like it more than this, but definitely not more than this. What can I do?
I just, it's your list too, bud. So if you had strong feelings, I wanted to make sure that you were heard.
So I think it should be number 1.
Advanced Gay is the best episode. Advanced Gay is better than Remedial Chaos Theory. What if?
As if.
What if we would lose all credibility? We would be thrown out of... My Twitter account would be deleted.
You would have FBI agents showing up at your door, tearing apart your couch, looking for reasons then they would leave saying, sorry, you're not more of a risk to your country.
Okay, let's go to the last John Goodman appearance. Is Advanced Gay better or worse than Biology 101, our current number 35? Yes?
Biology 101 is a great episode.
It's a good episode. It has another great set of John Goodman quotes, but...
Introduction to Michael K. Williams.
Yeah. But if I'm
being racist on accident.
But if I'm gauging the episodes as a whole next to each other, I think Advanced Gay is a much more solid episode. As like a full unit.
Sure, I could agree with that. There's certainly the arguments that can be made for specifically what you said earlier, right? Pierce's storyline and the Troy and Abed exchanges.
Troy and Abed back and forth, another excellent set of John Goodman quotes, and like we make this place as ridiculous as possible so no one will believe what you have to
which
say.
Leads to later Troy shouting, I'm going to eat space paninis with Black Hitler, and there's nothing you can do about it.
Very good. I don't know the difference between plumbing and air conditioning. To me, they seem more or less identical. They're not. They could not be more or less identical.
Okay, you're right. That's definitely better than that.
So now we're hitting... Okay, another big Pierce episode. Is this better or worse than The Drug Play, Celebrity Pharmacology?
Ooh, that's the tricky one.
I think I'd give this one a slight edge. Just like a little kiss above that one.
Specifically in terms of Pierce episodes, because
Sure.
we both know that Chang is the one that makes that episode better.
Precisely.
Pharmacology.
Yes. Okay, now we're kicking it with aerodynamics of gender.
Yes.
Secret Trampoline and Abed,
And
Mean
Abed being
Girls.
being a bitch bot.
I love Secret Trampoline. I'm not crazy about Abed Mean Girls.
No.
So, again, I think this one might be just better.
I like the subtitle to Romantic Expressionism, because Jace just could not remember.
Can never remember what that episode is about. I've described it so many times. The one time I took it off the list, the description off the list, Jace was like, "What's this episode?" So I put it back on, and it's never leaving. All right, just above.
What's English as a second language?
That's where they find out Chang's credentials are faked.
Oh.
I don't think I like this one as much as that one. I think we're just outside the top 30.
It. I think this is near 31.
I like it. S3, E6, advanced, gay.
I have a button on my computer.
Gay!
Can't believe you don't use that all the time.
I should use it way more.
Yeah, what the fuck? It's perfect, and it shows up in the Skype recording, so it's like it's a perfect little soundboard for our little audience here. All right.
I'll use it next episode. I promise.
Perfect. So we are outside this. I put a little thing on Twitter. Anyone that donated to a link I posted that donated to Biden and a bunch of like competitive Senate campaigns that I would give shout out here in this here episode. So nice. I would like to shout out my own brother, who Twitters, Instas, and Twitch streams as BLT Sammy, so like a bacon, lettuce, tomato sandwich, BLTSAMMY. Shout out to them. Very cool, chill streams, and if you like what we talk about on the show, you will like what they fucking tweet about. It's just nerd shit and community and anime, just like all the crap that we talk about on here.
Sure.
So go follow all that business, and then shout out as always to the Lady February. That's a real one. We love and respect the Lady February, and that's all I got. This is the first episode that will come out after the election. I do not know the results of said election, but I just want like the listeners out there and our friends and mutuals on twitter.com that like, I'm here for you. I get it. Whatever the results are, like, there's still more work to be done, and it's okay to take a breath, take a second with whatever wins we got on election night and regroup, because it's not over no matter what. And I hope that this show gives our listeners some amount of solace every week. A couple, an hour and a half to 2 hours to unwind and relax and laugh and talk about it and listen to people talk about a show that they like.
Sure. If we can provide even the slightest amount of respite, then dope. And I'm glad that we can. And I hope that our ability to remain level-headed and chill, not saying that's always going to be the case, because the next few weeks will be tumultuous, but I'm just glad that we can provide a service, if that is in fact what some of you see us as.
Yeah, I know it helps me tremendously to do this every week. And to have this to work on, like, while I'm working from home, to, like, have this, like, nice project to do between phone calls, it helps me tremendously. So I hope it helps other people as well.
Yeah,
even in some minuscule way.
Sure, 100%. 100%. Doing the show's always, so when it first started, it was like, fuck yeah. And there's been moments where I've been like, man, I'm tired. And then I hop in and instantly have given life just by being in the, like, chat with everybody. It's great. Yeah. You and Jace are great co-hosts, but then now it's like starting to make my family and like surrounding friends like start Community over again. And, like, my uncle just started it over and watched the first 4 episodes. and was like, these first 4 are super formulaic. And I was like, actually, it's the first 6, and it's on purpose. And then, like, he asked me one day, like, so Chang's, like, super not good at Spanish, right? And I was like, absolutely not.
Absolutely.
But it's really fun to, like, finally, how selfish of me. You should watch my stuff immediately. But, like, to finally have the like, branching effect on, like, I can't stop talking about it. So now people are finally like, fuck it, fine, I'll watch it. So it's nice. It's nice.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We do a cool thing.
We do a cool thing. And it's nice for me, and I hope it's nice for everybody else. We will be back next week with #Annie's Move and the first The Dean episode. So everyone, fucking buckle up. It's going to be a big one. Prepare thyself. And until then, pop, pop.
Plap, plap.
Plop, plop. Poop.
My plop, plop.
Poop falling out of a butt. My uncle put his finger in my plop.
Plop, plop.
What a life.
What a life.
It's Friday night. I'm putting on my highest heels, my shortest skirt, my best device for concealing my penis, and I got everything I need. I got my body, got my lips, got a pocket full of hawthorns. Pocket full of hawthorns. I got my body, got my lips, got a pocket full of hawthorns. Pocket full of hawthorns. Hawthorns, baby. Yeah.
That was quite a show. Very entertaining.
Please tell your friends about this show.